Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamer's Ledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, but today I am just a player. So let's introduce you to our DM for Rifts Ukraine, Freedom for the Borderlands, episode 33. Hi, John.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for the introduction. Happy to be here. And yeah, it's been, I think, 21 days since we got together. I want to say hello to Chris, and hopefully Daniel will be along soon.
Hey, everyone. Glad to be back.
And where are we? What's going on? Well, my goodness, last time our heroes were at the farm where the farmer was farming these sentient psychic flower things. And also, it seemed like there were these sentient robots, and our heroes figured out what was going on with the robots. And there was this interdimensional portal opened up, and apparently these aliens that bought the flowers, they brought the flowers, and they were having this farmer grow them for them. And of course, our heroes blew them up with a giant pile of grenades. And when we start, we are at the farm. Our heroes are in the farmhouse and are just waking up in the morning, and that's where we are. And apparently, Dzitich isn't awake yet because reasons.
Well, I'm still of the opinion that we need to get rid of these evil flowers because they could be used as a weapon. Granted, maybe the Hetman might want them as a weapon. I don't know, but it seems like they're not going to get out here in time and people can just wander into them. That seems bad.
Well, and as you pointed out before, when I created this, I had this idea of this wonderful, I don't know, I just thought it would be a cool kind of alternate sentient critter. And I was just trying to be, hey, isn't this cool? And I'll have them communicate in this weird way, and everything will be great. And but as you pointed out, they're a plant, and plants spread and grow, and pollen spreads on the wind, and that might not be good.
Right.
Matter of fact, my trainer, I have a trainer comes by my house twice a week and tortures me with physical exercise, and she's an awesome nerd, which is just a bonus. She streams a comic book channel. She works for Diamond Distributors, has a thing she does for them, and so I actually was telling her about it, and it was fun, because she enjoys hearing, about our streaming. And so I was telling her about the flowers and kind of what I intended, and she was like, "Oh, John, that's horrifying."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I kind of didn't intend them to be, but
no, they're pretty horrifying. That's why I want to burn them all.
So
dancing or not.
Yeah, I guess I get it. I'm mildly sad, but yeah, I've been won over to the what I've actually created.
Now, was it Sveta that had the objection, or was it Dzitich?
I haven't been sure how I want to handle it, because Sveta is opposed to anything that causes harm or pain.
Sure. But in the the problem is in the wrong hands, these are going to cause harm and pain.
And I've slept on it in game, and if Orest and I are talking now,
yes, we are.
I've slept on it, and as much as it pains me, I think these are an invasive creature, and if they are left, they will do more harm to the natural lands of Ukraine than good.
The question becomes, how are we going to do it? Because we're not talking a patch. We're talking 5 miles worth of flowers.
So, what if we could transplant them or talk to them about being transplanted?
How do you transplant an entire field?
For all we know, they can move on their own.
Oh
If
God,
we give
that's
them
horrifying.
Fine, but if we give
They
them,
can move on their own, John?
if they,
It's never come up before.
if they live within the flowers or the stalks or the roots, wherever they live within, it's possible that moving a small portion of them to, say, a rival warlord's area might be beneficial. And that might be
Yeah.
all that the hive mind needs to survive, is a small bit. We don't know.
Well, I don't mind if you guys want to dance among the flowers and ask, but it seems like putting them in the hands of the warlord, of the opposing warlords, is the exact opposite thing of what we want to do.
Then Dzitich is going to open a tea shop in the cyberpunk city and wait 25 years for Orest to be done picking flowers.
Right. No, I'm not saying I want to pick the flowers.
So
I want to burn the fields. So
which I don't think we can do.
it just seems like there should be something here that we could use.
Well, I mean, it is a farm. There are giant harvesting machines, and the robot's whole point in life is to assist with the harvest.
Did we already start?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we're streaming.
Yes. We thought you were asleep.
Yeah,
So
he
we
just
didn't
stumbles
include-
into the room.
Yeah, we didn't include you in the conversation, and then you stumbled in at that exact moment. So that
I was
works.
waiting for food.
Fair enough.
Well, delivery's hard to get on the farm out here. I mean, we could set the robots to let's go through the program again. Is there some burn protocol? Because that's a natural part of harvesting over time.
So normal flowers don't bloom throughout the year.
Right.
But you can see from records that year round, he has been able to acquire these flowers. So there's something unique about them that, they're always blooming.
The thing that's unique is that they scream when you kill them.
Only with their minds.
And it takes the form of dancing.
Now suddenly I want to Google dancing scream.
It's a
Where are
very
these-
frantic dance.
What are these giant harvesters? What do they do?
They would be in the barn.
No, not where they are. What do they do? How do they work? Do they pull up the plant? Are there small robotic fingers that just pick the flowers themselves? When you harvest corn, for example, there's nothing left in the field.
Right, which is
It
what
doesn't pick the individual ears.
Yeah.
It levels the playing field. Do these harvesters do the same in the flowers that are planted?
Yeah. Where
Yes. And I don't know, I didn't have a picture in my head of exactly what they look like, but yes, I did imagine them as leaving bare dirt behind.
Well, there you go, Mark.
great. So we can set the robots to start the process of doing exactly
Exterminate.
that. Yep.
Well, I mean, the robots don't touch the harvesters. The harvesters work on their own.
Right.
But we can set the harvesters to harvest and then pile it in a giant pile and then burn it.
Yes.
Well, we're very far away because I have a feeling this is karma that Dzitich doesn't want.
I mean, the problem though,
This is a sentient species that you are trying to talk them into getting rid of completely and utterly in extermination.
well, I'm not necessarily saying that we need to exterminate it, but it's dangerous here, especially unkempt. interdimensional beings obviously want it, although most of
Right.
them hopefully are dead. And if it falls into the wrong hands here, it could be used against us.
It's not a native species, right? It is an interdimensional species, so it's not native to Earth.
Well, that
Well-
doesn't help with the genocide, discussion. But I mean, I'm not saying we have to destroy it all. I just say we should destroy most of it. The problem is if we set the harvesters to go pull it out of the grounds and bring it back, and we burn it in one pile, that's going to be, I would imagine, a mile high, because it's 5 miles of fields that the harvesters have to harvest. And as they put it into a pile, it's going to be a ginormous pile.
Well, I mean, it's certainly, here's a couple
Yeah.
things. I mean, one, it's not going to happen in the morning. And if you were going to burn something like this, you wouldn't do it as one pile. You would do it as, oh, here's a load, let's burn it. By the way, if you remember when you first encountered them, the flowers complained about fire and steel
Yes.
killing them.
Yes.
And so you can surmise from that. I mean, it was routine for the harvesters to harvest and the robots to kind of burn parts of the fields.
Okay, that's what I was asking earlier, if they had burn protocols, and they do, so that's good.
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, we could set it to harvest and then burn the harvest, and, I mean,
The
Dzitich...
burning's done by the robots. So if you're going to leave and take the robots,
Well, no, we were going to
Right.
take the sentient robots.
well, right. But remember, most of your non-sentient robots got blown up.
Most?
They did? I don't remember any of them getting blown up.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You set them in a ring around the landing pad, and then Dzitich gave them the picture of the alien to harvest.
Right, but I thought like
No,
a
the
third of
explosion
them...
was big enough it killed a few hundred, destroyed a few hundred of the regular robots. That was part of that big boom.
Okay.
I knew that some of them had been destroyed. I didn't realize that many.
Yeah, probably 3/4 of them.
Wow.
You've got 50. Well, let me see. Let me roll a die here. Yeah, you've got 28 left from a few hundred.
Well, it's not like they need to sleep or anything, so...
Well,
can send
and they
them-
weren't the sentient ones.
Right.
It,
and-
it was just the
Right, and that's what I mean is, we can set the harvesters to harvest and then set the robots to burn whatever they harvest, and hopefully that should work. And then Dzitich, if you want to preserve some of these and take them with us, we can do that, I suppose, if we can figure out a way to do it safely, so that the entire thing isn't exterminated. If that's the issue, I'm not genocidal either. I don't want to kill things that are sentient or living, but at the same time, these things seem incredibly dangerous for everyone. I think if you want to talk to them and find out if they can uproot themselves, great. Maybe we send them to the Hetman and he determines what to do with them, because this might be above my pay grade. I just don't want to see these get used as a weapon against us.
because 5 miles of these flowers traveling across the countryside isn't going to cause any kind of problems.
Nope. We'll just make sure we send a runner in advance. 5 miles of...
I'm just imagining this avalanche of like hallucinogenic tumbleweed just rolling across the plains.
Yep.
I pictured it more like dandelions.
More like what, brother?
Dandelions?
Dandelions, yeah.
Okay, so Dzitich is gonna go talk to him.
How are you going to get back from talking to him?
That's a good question. I don't know. Orest said, if you want to go talk to him, go talk to him. So I assume they're going to save me at some point.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Or hopefully when I don't know. We'll see.
How about we tie a rope around your waist and in like 5 minutes or so we pull you back.
You got to give me more than 5 minutes.
Well, remember, like time in there was different.
I know. I might have to explain some pretty serious stuff.
Okay.
Well,
You went through several iterations of
The rope is a good idea.
we can do
hitting
that.
them, and it was only a couple seconds.
I'm just worried that they may not take the news well. And what
Well-
happens if they decide to keep you there?
After the peoples that my science has killed, I'm willing to take that chance.
All right.
All right.
So you walk out into the field.
With the rope tied around his waist that we are on the other end of.
Okay. All right.
And and while he's doing that, Sveta and I will play a game of robot or interdimensional being part. And we'll pick up parts from the white circle.
Oh, okay.
And figure out if it was part of an extra dimensional being that got blown up or part of a robot that got blown up.
Okay. All right. What are you doing with the biological parts?
Chucking them.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to bury them or burn them or.
I mean, if they're moving, we'll burn them, but
Hopefully they're not moving.
hopefully they're not moving.
Yeah, nothing's moving. All right. So you wander out in the field. You get about 10, 15 feet in and kind of start feeling
Yeah.
woozy and
Taking deep breaths.
okay. All right. Do you sit down or lay down or?
Usually you'll lay down
All right.
take deep breaths.
And it's one of those things that you make the decision to lay down and you're kind of out before you even realize you're done laying down.
Right?
Good old count backwards from 10.
Yeah. You got to about 3. You are in a classroom that looks like a classroom from when you were a kid with the Disciples of Destiny.
Right?
And in front of you is a woman in a dress who she wasn't one of your teachers, but she looks like she could have been.
Is this the same woman that I saw before and the same classroom that I saw before?
It is, yes.
I'm going to begin to move and dance.
Okay. So go ahead. I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'm trying to see how I will be able to pass information through this medium.
So you guys begin to it's kind of like the music in third wow, where'd that brain cell go? Oh my gosh. Richard Dreyfuss and the aliens and the dun 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 dun.
Oh, I know exactly the song you're talking
Encounter
about.
with the
Yeah,
is it
not
Close
that
Encounter
movie.
with the Third Kind?
Close
or-
Encounters of the Third Kind, kind of like that,
Yeah.
except with dancing instead of music, right? And all of a sudden you just start to understand the movement.
Okay.
And you've been there, oh, I don't know, half a day or so.
By the time I start picking it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been in there a couple minutes, guys.
I'm going to ask if they, being these people, the species, are a organism that has many appendages, like a hive mind, or if each plant is its own being.
And I just imagine
And
him
I'll
doing
do
the
interpretive.
dance, the dance from Flashdance. That's what I'm imagining right now.
That really hurt, actually.
There's a you see a flash at the front of the classroom, and you see synchronized dance team, basically. And the interpretation of all of them dancing together, and there's just, you know, endless. It just goes beyond your sight. And it says, we are many individuals that dance together. Or many peoples that dance together.
Okay, so if one plant is picked or burnt, that plant stops dancing.
We miss our friend.
Yep, I was afraid of that. You are in danger more than before because you are a danger. You spread so fast and destroy everything around you. Do you choose to bring people like me in, or is that something that happens by itself?
We desire connection. We desire connection. It is in our nature to connect.
I'm going to try to project and dance it out. Essentially a dandelion. And ask if it's possible for them to move themselves, or if when they put down root, if that's it for them, if that's where they live their life now.
I see you, Mark. Just a second.
Nope, you're interrupting a dream sequence. You have to raise your hand to dance. There you go.
Jazz hands. I'm
trying to save their lives, John. You're the GM. It's up to you.
I'm trying to decide how to say this. I mean, I know the answer. I just haven't figured out how I want to explain it. Our bodies are one with the earth. We do not move, but our children are our joy. You know, the thing is, I've thought this all out, so all I'm going to do is just present exactly what I created in the first place, and you guys can do what you do. Yes, Mark.
I require Daniel to dance every question he ever utters for the rest of the game, regardless if it's in a dream sequence or not. Please and thank you. I will pay Benny's.
It was nice playing with you guys. I don't think Dzitich is waking up.
I will pay Benny's to affect the story.
Like, he's been in there for more than 5 minutes. He suffers brain damage, and like he can only communicate
through dance,
both dance,
through interpretive dance.
That's all he understands too. So that means you guys have to as well.
And somehow he now has taps on his shoes. Don't know how that happened.
By the way, speaking of Benny's, have some.
Yay.
Thank you. If you die here, which right now looks like it might happen, but I was able to take some of your children to a safe place, would that be any kind of hope for you, for your future? Or do you have any ideas of what we can do to save your species from flame and steel?
And this dance is called the food shovel.
We This land is new to us. We come from a different place. We don't know how we got here.
You were brought here.
We at our home, there are endless numbers of us. We hoped we could become a part of this land too.
Where you were brought isn't safe. And I can't transplant all of you. I can only transplant a small portion. Do you have any way to see the outside, like where I'm from? Can you interact at all and see where I'm from? Do you know where you dance?
We dance in the ground.
Yes. But what ground? Can you perceive that ground?
We feel the ground. It is beneath us.
Okay.
We feel the wind. We feel the rain. We feel the steel. We feel the fire. They're kind of confused by the question.
We can't see you, John.
I know.
Okay. You're good.
I put on a pair of shorts and I thought I wouldn't announce that to everybody.
And then you did.
Well, yeah, but with the camera off. So I had on sweatpants and
you didn't have to go into it. You're good. It's hot
anyway,
there.
so
You're good.
yeah.
I will do what I can if you release me.
What is release? We are connected.
Disconnect me.
Well, they're gonna disconnect you. All right.
Yep. This is a classroom. Yes.
We connect. We have connected with you. That's
This
what
is-
we do.
This is a classroom, right?
We have,
No, I'm
when
asking
we
you,
connected
John.
with you, we
Am I on
found
mute?
a language that you could understand so we could
No,
communicate.
you're not on mute.
You're not on mute.
Okay. Is this is a classroom, correct?
You're asking OOC.
Yes. I'm asking
Oh.
you, John, is this a classroom?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Is-
sorry.
Is there a classroom door? If this is built as a construct from inside my mind, which my D12 smarts believes it is, then my mind would also build in an exit. That exit
So
would not be
I actually have a picture of the classroom in my head.
okay.
I pictured windows as you looked at the front, at the teacher's desk at the front, and past her with chalkboards. On the right, there are windows. To be honest, I kind of did what Hollywood did, is I built a stage and I didn't create a wall on the left in my mind.
I mean, door or not, Dzitich is going to
roll a
dance
d12.
left.
Roll a d12. Or that's your smarts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll your smarts is what I'm getting at.
Yay, 10.
Okay, yeah, you I get where you're going, and stop me if you wanted to go somewhere else.
Nope.
You imagined a door on the left where the door has always been, where the door was before, and yes, there's a door there.
Dang it.
Um,
Dzitich will stand.
okay.
Think,
Well, you are standing, but yeah.
Now
Thanks
face.
to them.
Yes.
Thank them for their time, and then he's going to dance exit right, stage right.
Stage left.
Yeah. Well, from the teacher's point of view.
Yeah, it would be right. You're correct. Okay, so you open the door, and on the other side of the door is a mirror image of the classroom.
What? Why would you go through all of that door stuff if it was just going to leave me back in the same room, John?
I guess that's just how I am.
All right, so Dzitich will make small talk until 5 minutes are up on the outside, or 30 minutes, or whatever they decide on.
Yeah, we've got.
I was hoping that the plants would understand letting someone go, since they've seen their people let go, and they've obviously let us go before when we get pulled out of the situation.
No, no, they didn't. I pulled you out of the thing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They obviously have seen someone disappear and felt that disconnection.
Yeah.
I figured they'd be able to just do that.
They don't want to do that.
I don't think it's want or not. I actually think that they're sociopathic. Deep ingrained. I don't think they understand. So it's one of the reasons I'm fine with being pulled out.
Yeah. So
I thought they were sentient. I actually now think that they're lions.
They're what?
Or jellyfish. Lions or jellyfish. I don't think that they're actually sentient. I don't think they can be recognized as sentient.
They have properties of sentience, but they are not fully sentient.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, and he holds up a fleshy bed attached to a metal plate, part of a robot, Sveta? Or is it part of an interdimensional being that was blown up?
Are there any meat bits on it?
There are. It's a tiny bit of plate with a meat bit attached to it. But remember that some of the robots, even the non-sentient ones, had meat bits inside them too. That's why this is a quality game.
No. The non-sentient robots had no fleshy bits.
Only the sentient robots did.
Oh.
Yeah.
The aliens, though, were wearing armor. So
right.
Highly reflective, shiny, chromy armor. So which looks completely different.
Before the explosion.
Yeah, before the explosion, right. Sure. Right. You got no way to tell now. That's why this is a good game.
You wake up when water splashes you in the face. 52 looks down at you and says, "Are you okay?"
I am. Thank you, 52.
He's like, it's been 84 years.
I built a tea shop.
Well, it is not great news.
Wait, you're still in the field, right?
No.
He pulled me out and splashed water on me.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that he woke you up while you were face down in the field, and then you were going to have to pass out to get back out of the field.
No. He pulled him out with a rope.
Okay. Well then, yes, please tell us what you found out, Dzitich.
They, I don't think they can conceptualize much. I think that they are, if sentient, very simple sentience, given voice. And while it will be a sad act to level the field, I think it would be the equivalent of taking out relatively smart radiation spiders. A hive of radiation spiders.
Well, that makes me feel better about it. And not that
They,
I
they
want to
aren't
feel.
they aren't dangerous on purpose, but they are what they are.
And I assume that they could not just move or.
It didn't seem like they even understood what I was asking. When they plant, they plant. Their children are their future, like every living creature. But at most, they realize that the soil they're in now is not the soil they were in before. But I'm wondering if there's some kind of genetic memory. Because otherwise, how would they know?
Right.
They didn't seem like
I will say this. Real quick, give me a knowledge check there, Mr. Dzitich.
Smarts
Yeah,
or
smarts.
common knowledge.
Not this isn't smarts. Make it smarts.
I'm betting that.
You don't want to be the same intelligence as the flowers? You
And
better
I'm
bet
gonna
it
keep
again.
it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If I rolled the same exact thing twice, that's telling me that fate wants me to fail that roll.
Huh. Or there's a problem with the software.
Yeah.
I probably should mention I put it in the Roll20 sponsorship application today. So thanks.
It's
Normally
a
the
feature,
software-
not a bug.
Love you,
Normally the
Roll20.
software is great.
Love you, Roll20.
We do love Roll20. Matter of fact, we do love Roll20. I mean, we
Right.
do
It's
sell a
great.
lot on
We
this
do
program.
use a lot. Yeah.
So you did fail.
So I think that they probably have a genetic memory. That's the only thing I can think, because they don't seem like the storytelling type. They would have access to more levels of understanding if they did, I believe.
I want to explain, but I'll just leave it there. Because you rolled it 2.
Well, let's set the harvesters to harvest, the robots, the 28 remaining robots to burn, the collected harvests, and we will.
Now, I think that you should think about taking a small portion of whatever we have from the previous harvest, so that you can take it to your bosses, just in case that these are planted somewhere else.
But I think that's not going to work, right? Because they'd be dead at that point.
No, the dried ones that are already in casks. Take some samples.
Oh, wouldn't you want to take a living sample?
I am going to try to use some of my weird science
There it is.
to build a hydroponics, because we are in the future. A small solar hydroponics thing to carry a couple samples, living samples.
Okay, good. Because that's what I thought you had intended
Yeah,
to do, and I
but
wanted to support
I
you
was
in
like
that.
you
Yeah.
with your full mask to take some of the already harvested.
Well, and I'm also going to, since technically, Dzitich, you discovered these, you should name them. And I will record some on video along with the dried samples so that we have documentation of them. But you should give them a name, especially if you're going to be carrying them, or the remainder of them.
Okay. I was gonna say, should we ask the robots if they have a name? Because I mean, they have been discovered before.
I imagine that guy just called them the flowers. But we can
Yeah.
ask
He
50.
wasn't too smart.
Yeah, we can ask 52.
Yes. How can I help you?
52, did these flowers have a name?
Yes.
And what is that?
Flowers.
That's what I thought. So Dzitich, you have an opportunity to name them for posterity.
Huh.
I'm not trying to influence, but just a reminder, the farmer's name was Borisco.
Yeah, we're definitely not naming it after Perisco.
Okay, this is what I'm naming them.
Lepidus saltatores. No, Lepidus saltatores. There we go.
Enchanting dancers.
Nice.
Mm,
Nice.
yeah.
I would like to begin work immediately on a high-tech hydroponic sample tube. John?
Okay. Like, maybe like 3-liter bottle size.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of techy and high-tech and steampunk and post-apocalyptic.
And will allow him to transplant a younger plant.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 or 2 in the same bottle.
Yeah, just make a obnoxious song roll.
Oh.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, you.
Obnoxious song roll.
Oh, I knew exactly what he was.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Since you're the tech guy, are you going to hop on the computer and program the harvesters?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It actually doesn't take you long. I mean, it's pretty intuitive for. I mean, Briscoe could figure it out. So it's unbelievably easy for you. So yeah, it looks like it's going to take 5 days, and that's without break. That's, I mean, they're machines, they don't need breaks. It's going to take 5 days, 24 hours, and you can also program the remaining 28 robots to be burning the piles as they arrive.
Is that what you want?
I think that's the wisest course of action.
Okay. Now, here's the big question. Are you guys just going to trust that that's going to happen and leave, or are you waiting the 5 days?
I think we should probably wait.
Yeah, 5 days is not as bad as I was thinking. So that's a mile a day. Yeah, we should probably wait. And I'll explain to 52 that the flowers are dangerous to humans, not robots, and that they need to be destroyed so they can't be used against humans. And we will leave in 5 days and ask if that is all right with them.
We have always done as we're told with the flowers. If that's what you want us to do, that's what we'll do. There's no problem.
You don't have to help in burning. You can if you want, but we're not asking.
We don't mind work. We can help.
Okay.
So
I would like to petition that robots are robots and the sentient ones are Vita Nova.
New
Sentient
life.
Ones are what?
New life. Vita Nova.
Because they aren't normal robots.
Right.
And I don't want to get in the habit of that.
Yeah. So if the Vita Nova want to help us burn the Lepidus saltatores, then they can.
Yeah, that's up to them.
We will help. We like to be helpful.
And so we will stay the 5 days until it is done. And during that time, I will grab a couple samples of the dried ones from the barrels and take pictures of the live ones, or video of the live ones and the dead ones, and write some notes in my logs about Lepidus saltatores.
Right.
And
Are you
also,
you've got the sealed suit. Are you actually going into the field and looking at them?
No, I'm just going to go to the edge of the field.
But I mean, you're taking a picture of so you can see the actual thing.
Yes.
Okay. And we already know it's safe for you to go into the field.
Right. I just don't want to take any chances.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I'm only asking to see how good a look you get, and because I wanted to answer something that I don't think we actually got a 100% answer on yet. And you don't see legs; you see a stalk that grows directly into the ground.
Sure.
So, it's not like a tumbleweed or whatever. It literally is just like, well, actually, it looks like that. Which I kind of feel bad because apparently this is an actual flower that I'm picking on here, but I looked for creepy, I Googled creepy flower and this came up, and I imagined it as purple and creepy looking, and this was perfect for what I was wanting.
Yeah.
It's very exotic.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what it actually is, but
Are
Right.
any of the blown up robot parts large enough to be altered for spares? Either spare robots or spares for the Vita Nova.
yeah, it's a few hundred, and there's people who are just like, yes, there are giant piles of spares.
Okay.
More, as a matter of fact, there's probably more spares than you guys. You're going to start, you're going to have trouble carrying them all.
That was my second question. There's a harvester in the barn, correct?
The multiple harvesters, yes.
They're currently out working now.
Right. You program to go do their thing.
Oh, and they just, are they fueled by solar or like nuclear or something? There's not fuel here, right?
Yeah, they're electric.
Okay.
Look.
They're electric and come back to plug in and charge, or they're electric, they collect solar and they're out there constantly doing their thing?
The farm is solar.
So every once in a while, some of them come back to charge and they have a charging rotation.
Sure.
While one of them is charging, I would like to find out if there is a port that allows for manual control, or if I was to plug into it with my computer, if I could control this harvester and sit on it and tell it where to go, instead of it being an automatic program from
Just don't
antenna.
sit on the part with the grindy parts.
Oh, good call. I hadn't said that.
There's not a cockpit.
Right.
So
Like if I was a tech guy that came out and fixed this harvester, if it was nowadays and it was an automatic harvester, because I've seen them, it has ports and a rack and tech on it, even though it is programmed elsewhere. It has stuff on it so that I can do troubleshooting and that kind of stuff on the programming.
yeah, there is a panel on the right side that you can open up with ports that you can connect to.
Okay.
But there is not a cockpit.
Right.
The top deck, it's large. It's this harvester is each of the harvesters is about 20 feet long and 15 feet wide. They're wheeled, not tracked, so they have wheels. And the top is mostly flat.
That's where it stores the harvest, right? The harvest is pulling up.
No, there's multiple harvesters. So,
Oh, with different jobs.
yes. So.
Oh, I thought this was a one in all machine. And there were a lot of them.
No. So there are multiple ones. There are there's the and I only thought of this one because Mark said the grindy bits. So there's this one with the wheel thing at the front.
And it probably pulls up the plants, and the other one comes along and scoops them up, shakes out the dirt, and puts it into a hauler.
Yes, and there is a hauler that follows with the
belts that are the conveyor belt things that come off and drop it into the haulers that are riding next to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I have played enough Farm Simulator to follow this. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So John, here's what I would like to do for my 4 days. I would like to hook up a rudimentary lathe. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to build a very simple controller. Essentially a box like this that has a button for left, a button for right, a button for forward, and a button for back. And I would like to program it to plug into one of those ports so that someone can push forward, back, left, right, and have the harvester go in that direction. And I would like it to be one of the haulers.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying this, just so that everybody's on the same page, is because I would like the Vita Nova to have their own vehicle that carries their own spare parts, so that if we were to send them off in a different direction, they have a form of transportation with their other parts.
And what I was going to do over my 4 days is kind of complementary to that. I want to actually document the Vita Nova. We have 52, but I will get names and pictures of each of the others because they are like the guys we sent ahead previously. They're going to be enrolling, so we need some kind of record of them anyways.
And there are variations,
right,
in how they've chosen to display themselves. So yeah, give me a obnoxious song roll.
Yay, raise.
That is a raise. All right. So, do you really want the controller that simple?
I mean, so my thinking, and John, these are dividing over obviously your babies, but I want something that is easily understandable to like 52 and some of the others who seem like their comprehension level is still very simple.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
I might add like a break button, but
that might be handy.
Instead of just
I'm just saying that. So,
have you seen Chappie?
I have, yes.
So these remind me of Chappie at the very, very beginning, not Chappie at the end.
Yeah. Well, they're actually
Chappie 27 minutes into the movie. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're both actually, right? Like, the problem is they've existed at this little farm, and that's their entire reality. And so they're chappy at the end about everything having to do with this farm and what they've had to do here, right? But as they run into new situations, they're going to be chappy at the beginning.
Well, they've also had to hide their intellect and their
that's true
ability to
too, yes.
comprehend, and so that's more of what I mean. It's just they're not confident enough to actually show their comprehension level, and because they haven't practiced it, it's not really there yet.
That's true. Sveta.
Yes.
I normally don't do
Mm.
things like this, but I just see an opportunity to do something really kind of cool. So I will float this past you while Dzitich is retrofitting this hauler. Do you
Thank you,
want to
Dale.
get in on the metal work, steel work, parts of it, and maybe make it more comfortable for the Vita Nova to ride in?
Sure. That's a good idea.
Okay. So using steel and whatnot you find around, this is what I'm going to, and stop me if this is not what you want, but you started describing this and my mind kind of went wild and I thought, oh, this is really cool idea.
Yeah.
So one of the things, if you don't care about how this farm looks like when you leave, using some of the roof material and stuff, you can actually put a roof on top of the hauler. And Sveta is going to help you with a lot of this. And the other thing in the deck of the hauler, because the thing is huge. I mean, it's this hauler is a little bit longer than a semi with a trailer, and it's twice as wide. Yes, sir.
Are you making a double-decker hauler?
No.
Oh. That's where my mind went.
I was
Oh, I
starting to think
hadn't
the
thought
same
of
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, if you might go a little past 5 days since you're taking one of the haulers out of the thing here, right, while you're working on it. But here's the other thing: is these guys still have to charge, so you can install their charging stations into the back of the hauler, right? And again, I see that as a as you know, your kind of wires and electricity, and Sveta's making the steel parts work. And between the two, you guys are cooperating, making, you know, putting in their charging stations, putting a roof on this thing. And the other thing is, this is Sveta's idea, is there's no cockpit, right? And Sveta, you're going to be able to, using steel and stuff from the barn, be able to build basically at the forward part of the hauler, basically build a cockpit, and somebody is just, you know, looking out over the front part of the hauler. Dzitich, I'm going to take some liberties because I know what you want your character to do, and and you have a raise here. And so you make the controller as you simple. You also put some thumb things, but you also, because these robot the Vita Nova can do it, you actually put a port so that whoever's driving can just plug in.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
So it has 6 dual wheels in the back, and it has dual wheels in the front, is how it turns.
Okay.
It is solar powered, and you're able to take some solar panels from the farm and add to that roof you put on it. Okay. So it's collecting more juice now.
And I think the idea, I think Sheik Hansen's idea was to leave the house, right?
Right.
So if we could pull pieces from
mostly all of it's from the barn. The barn's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the barn,
and it's a steel building.
Barracks was the other one.
Perfect.
All right. You don't have to do much to the barracks. The only thing you're taking from the barracks are you're taking some of the computer stuff.
Some of the solar panels, probably.
Computer stuff, solar panels, and charging stations.
Okay.
And the thing that Sveta did is between the charging stations, because the Vita Nova don't need to sit down, but if this thing is going over bumpy roads or something, he's given them places to hang on.
Right.
So, you know, they're not just tossed around in the back of this giant bed. But so yeah, you guys come up with this pretty awesome looking thing. Actually, it's got a flat roof with solar panels, and there's 4 foot between the top of the bed and the roof. So it is open. It's not sealed, but so you can look out, and there's a deck, I guess, or a platform around the edge, so that the Vita Nova can stand up there with handholds and look out at the scenery as things go past. Because it's
Right.
the sides of this hall are taller than they are, much taller.
Okay.
So yeah, cool thing. You guys make that in 5 days. It actually ends up taking 6 days because you took one of the haulers out of the routine.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
And now, during that time, why don't the three of you give me spirit rolls?
Uh-oh, we're gonna be wow, and you can't re-roll
Gonna
that
be
either.
Feared by something.
Barisco is coming to haunt you. Orest. Spirit rolls.
I mean, it's only fair. I have been rolling like crap on some of the other stuff too.
Okay, so Sveta and Bullet Train. There are moments where it's kind of like a breeze comes by, right?
Mhm.
Although it's an emotional breeze, it's not something you're feeling physically. Is during these 6 days, you'll have moments where like something just kind of overcomes you, and you just like for a moment just feel this waves of sadness, and mixed in with moments of terror. Dzitich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me about this horror.
Yeah, you have moments where you actually have to be taken back to the house, and you're having to you're not taken out of action, but you are needing to, I'm going to go rest for a couple hours.
Oh, so
And,
it's not like panic attacks.
no, but it is just you just have this moment of just this utter terror, and then just a wave of just sadness, and you just kind of have to go lay down to kind of let that emotion kind of go away. And it's as if it's as if a million souls suddenly cried out and they were suddenly extinguished.
Oh.
And whenever I feel that, I will whistle a happy tune, and with a spring in my step, I will. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Darth.
Orest is just like, I love the smell of genocide in the morning.
Yeah, no, I don't, because it's sad, because if I could think of another way out of this, I actually really hope that Dzitich's conversation with the flowers would have borne fruit, if you will. But since it did not, I don't see another way to keep this from being used against us.
Well, and just the danger. I mean,
Right. I
you
mean, it's
guys just
usually dangerous,
randomly
yeah.
walked into it.
I was in a sealed suit. How many people are in the sealed suit? Not many in
Right.
this country. So
No, you're right. I mean, I realized, in hindsight, I thought of this thing and I was like, oh, I really want to, Daniel and I had to talk about this. I want to make sure that I create a unique kind of diversity of what you guys run into. It's riffs, after all. And I thought this will be this really cool alien sentient, creature. And, I kind of didn't think through what I created.
that's good.
So, and I actually, to be honest, it was talking to Natasha that actually got me kind of really got me there. That when she looked at me and she said, "That's terrifying." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess it kind of is."
Yep. So they got to go. Yeah, that actually reinforces that we're doing the right thing, I think, is the fact that, just cutting these things down can create that kind of emotion in us. Does Vita Nova, do they feel anything? Because
Yes.
after the second or third time I notice it happens, I'm going to check in with them to see what level of sensitivity they have to this type of thing. And I would just say at 52, every once in a while as these are being harvested, I'm feeling waves of sadness and terror inflicted upon me. Do you guys feel, does the rest of your group feel anything like that?
We feel not good. We we have felt this before, when it has been time to collect the flowers.
I guess
we do as we're told, but this feeling is, we don't. You can see he's searching for a word.
So I guess that's the part that I want to make sure that you understand. You understand you don't have to do as you're told, right? You have choice. You have free will. I know you haven't had that before we came to the farm, but I've recommended a path for you. You don't have to follow that. I think I want to be clear that I, as someone who is attempting to look out for you, think that is the smartest path because of where you're at on your journey of understanding who you are as individuals and people and where you fit in society, which I know is still a concept that's hard for you to understand. But you don't have to do it. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to stay on the farm here, you can. I wouldn't recommend that, especially because there could be more of those interdimensional beings coming, looking for revenge or for what we did to them. We're looking for the plants, which we are destroying. I think it would not be wise, but I want to make sure that you understand that U52 and all of the rest of Vita Nova have a choice in what you want to do. You don't just have to do what you're told.
Um, 52 tilts his head and oh, that's not 52.
No, disassemble number 52.
52 tilts his head and says, choice. And he says the word almost like, when you're eating something you've never eaten before and you're just trying to, do I like this or not? He's literally like chewing over this word. And I will talk to the others about this choice. And
we will not be upset if you choose not to do what we recommended. But I just want to make sure that you're making an informed choice. And so if there's questions we can answer to help you each decide what you want to do, then we're happy to answer as many questions as you need.
Okay. I will talk to the others. And he wanders off. So here we are 6 days later. All the programmed bots, harvesters and whatnot, Well, the harvesting equipment go back to the barn. The robots go back to the dormitory to charge. And it's the end of the program that Dzitich set for them. And that's halfway through day 6.
Hmm.
And all the flowers are gone at this point then, other than the ones that Dzitich saved?
I mean, you haven't walked 5 miles of the farm.
Well, let's take the new convoy out for a test drive.
Dzitich is also going to replace the picture of the robot, of the aliens, with the picture of the flower again.
Okay, I see. You
Okay.
probably
Which
did
might-
that 6 days ago.
I figured
Yeah.
I did. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know how they would have been harvesting otherwise.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh,
but
they
I
weren't
figured-
harvesting; they were burning.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the same thing. What are they
Yeah,
targeting?
yeah.
cool.
Cool.
That's easy.
So then I'll take. I mean, we might as well all go together. I'll ask 52 if he wants to join us to make sure that the flowers are all picked, and Sveta and Dzitich, and we test out. We have 52 test out driving the convoy
Okay.
if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, we'll do it on our own.
No, he says, I will go. I want to drive this.
Very good.
And so it literally takes you the rest of day 6.
Sure.
And so you spend about 10 hours driving over all of this territory, and you do actually find a flower here kind of growing out of a rock, and a flower that's 20 feet into the next field where there weren't flowers, that's kind of sticking there. And here's a little clump. A lot of it is little clumps that are outside what the program had as the parameters of the farm. So when he programmed, okay, go here, all of these places, the little bits of flowers are kind of beyond that.
Can Dzitich, is that something that we can fix and have them go out tomorrow once we leave?
It's little bits. I'm assuming that you just took care of it as you found them.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And either you or 52, and you can bring a flame. You could just burn them right there.
Yeah.
And because it's not lot. I'm not talking. It's like, here's 5 flowers.
Right.
Okay, now there's not 5 flowers.
Got it.
But that takes you about 10 hours, and so it's evening. It's dark, and you have made sure that there are none there.
Great.
So, are you going to stay here for one more night?
Absolutely.
Okay, so unless you want to do something, time goes by and morning has broken, just like the first morning.
Has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken.
I don't know this song.
Like the first
Oh, wow.
spring. It is an old song. I'm sorry, it is, John. It's a really old song.
It's
I
a
just-
it's a great song.
It is a great song. The version I would recommend would be Roger Whittaker. Morning has
Really,
broken.
not Cat Stevens?
No,
Come on.
I like Roger Whittaker's version better.
Okay, fine.
But Cat Stevens is the originator, I believe.
Roger Whittaker. Okay. There you go.
So
You can listen to that later, Chris.
Right.
I sent it to you in Viber.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't. Was Dzitich, what are we going to do with the robots that are left here?
So, okay. My hope is that the Nova,
Mhm.
when their symbiotes are ready to split,
Mm-hmm.
they will be able to find the robot bodies we're also going to pack into the hollow.
So my question is, why don't we also just pack the 28 robots and take them with us?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So
okay.
that we
Yeah,
have,
you're
we
saying
have,
you're both saying the same thing.
yeah, we're gonna have a giant pile of spares that I'm
Right.
gonna have once the rover's ready. I'm gonna have the Nova and the robots loaded up with the spares, and then I'm going to fold the robots. I'm gonna program the robots to kind of fold themselves down small, and then turn them off, because they all run off of a command ship here. And okay, so I picture, never mind. Only Chris, I think, would. No, John might. I picture them as B1s.
Yeah, say that again.
I picture them as B1 battle droids.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So they're controlled by a nexus in space that tells them what to do. They
Yeah.
don't have.
Well, you know, I apologize. That was something else I was going to tell you, is that it would be easy for you to, using the servers and whatever, is include that, some of the servers, into the truck and the
Oh.
program.
Because remember,
I
they're getting their feed from the top of the house.
I didn't think that was going to be possible. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it's-
Sure. I think
Okay.
with your, I mean, one, you got to raise when you're building the truck and doing your thing. And I mean, that just seems a natural, and that's completely 1,000% in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, okay, I just got to move the server over here and put the comm dish here, and
And now we have battle
We
boards.
literally in the wheelhouse.
Okay.
literally in the wheelhouse.
Great. So now we have robots that can go with us and do stuff too if we need them to.
Do these robots understand how to make machinery?
No,
No.
because even Barishnikov wasn't
Barishko.
trained. Yeah, Barishko wasn't trained in that.
Hmm.
So they never saw it happening.
Yeah, that was kind of, I mean, he got payment and supplies. So
I mean, with enough time, maybe Dzitich could write software for it, but I think it's easier to just keep them stowed for now. And
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what would happen to these robots when they finally divide and end up taking up all the 28 robots that remain. Like, they won't be able to grow their population anymore.
well, hopefully that is something that the Hetmanate can provide for.
So I have now repaired and completely rebuilt a couple of these robot bodies. I'm on the trip. I'm going to be doing a write-up of kind of like a TI, John,
mhm. Right.
of what I did and how I did it, so that other techs can try, and maybe even the robots might be able to learn.
The Vita Nova 52, and some of the others are, absolutely interested in what you're doing, and they seem to be picking up on this very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I think it's time we finally westward ho.
Northwest. By the way, there's a town you guys are heading to, and I looked up online how
Today's
to
a
pronounce
good day to
it.
die. That's what I heard.
So just a second.
Kapla.
I didn't mean to play that. Let me I want to do something first. There we go. Okay. So here's the town you're heading to, so you can all see it. and I'll turn this up, and I hope you can hear this. I looked up how to say this online, and so this is how you say the town name.
Kryvyi Rih.
Hmm.
Kryvyi Rih. Kryvyi Rih.
Got it.
Okay, so
And where were we just leaving?
We're just leaving the red dot, right?
yeah, just a second. I do have.
The map that I have this dot right below Pokrov.
Okay, so I've got the map up. I think you see the map.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a map where the farm is. So
that dot, that pin there.
yeah, this is the farm.
Okay.
Nikopol was the town of ghosts, and actually it's right up here was Chuklov,
Tough love.
right? And so and you guys rode here. Here is the Cossack Memorial, right, etc. And so here's the farm, and then up this direction, if you see where I'm clicking, is the
So is the other map not correct
Kryvyi Rih.
then?
say again.
Is the other map not correct then?
It
as to
is absolutely correct.
where we are?
Yes, that is correct on that map.
Because I don't see the town you're talking about.
What town?
Kryvyi Rih.
Well,
Kryvyi Rih.
Chris hasn't turned it in. Well, Chris did just now turn it into a dot.
Yes.
It's to
Almost
the
like your-
northwest of where you are.
Cartographer is on demand.
Yeah, I still don't. I see.
You probably have to scroll out a little bit.
Oh, is it like? Oh, it's ways away. Okay, got it.
It's actually about 50 miles away.
Oh, all right. So we're not going to stop in Tik. I mean, I thought we'd go to Hrushvika, up to Tik, and then to Apostolov.
Now, just remember that I don't have a Riffs Ukraine map, right? Most of these towns are no longer there, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. 80% of the population was destroyed in the cataclysm and whatnot.
So what you're saying is there's no town at Tik. I got it.
There is not.
But what about Apostolov? Because that looks pretty big, actually.
Right. And you're not sure where the next town is anyway. I mean, you know where Kryvyi Rih is, and you guys can head that direction, but whether you run into a little village or something along the way, you may be surprised. Now, generally, I put it where there's something on the map just to make it easier to refer to.
Well, and I would imagine that they probably sent us with an old map that has not been updated, which is kind of what we're figuring out for the most part of how to go-ish.
Sure.
So
I
wouldn't.
can go with that.
Yeah, because I mean, then it would have all these towns, which makes our job even harder because we don't know what's there and what's not.
Well, no, I mean, it's been hundreds of years since, this map was relevant. I imagine what you have is something, there's no terrain on it. There's, the basic shape of Ukraine.
And Kryvyi Rih is the only thing on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm guessing the H-23, it kind of looks like it is along a ridge line or something similar.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you are finding some roads and some trails, but again, we're in a post-apocalyptic world, and when you find roads, it is a,
it goes for a mile and then the rest is overgrown.
You're gonna find stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess in my mind, we'd want to head towards the H-23, which I get is not a thing in post-apocalyptic, but it looks like a big ridge line.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah. That's
that'll take us up to Krivy, and if we come across Apostolov or Nivyatruva or Mariansky, then great. And if they aren't there in existence, great. Same for Hrushka.
right.
But-
Right. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
screw
And of course,
Tic-Tic.
that's your mission, right?
Tic-Tic's
Is-
gone. It's not. I'm not even thinking about it anymore.
Where's Tic-Tic?
Tic-Tic is northwest of Hrushka. So if you go southwest,
Oh, Churvonyatic.
no, that's north of Tic-Tic.
Oh, Tic-Tic. I see it. I had to zoom in.
Yep.
Tic-Tic.
Although I think
You know,
it's
it's
just
not
Tic.
Tic-Tic. It's actually just Teak.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, it'll have the English on top and then the Ukrainian or Russian on the
Oh,
bottom.
that's very disappointing. So I'm guessing I missed how to read the map, so there's no mystique about it.
So
Daniel's like,
yeah.
Daniel's
But like
I
if you
came
look
to
at
play
the
for this.
closest one, which is Granitny, I would assume.
Granitny.
You'll see it's an H on the top and then a G on the bottom. And the reason it's a G is there's no H sound in Russian. And generally, not always, but often a G is shown as an H in English. I don't know why.
Okay.
That's
Well-
why, like Lugansk, if you look at Lugansk, it's in English, it's Luhansk. They use an H there. I don't know why. I really don't get it. It is we have G's. Why don't we use a G? But it's because the G, they have different G's, and sometimes they have a softer G and blah blah. I've actually read about this and can't speak to it on an academic level, but anyway, yeah, G's are sometimes G's and sometimes they're H's.
Okay. So we'll make towards the H23 and head northwest from there.
Outstanding. So what order are you guys writing in? Because you have the three of you, you have your pack horse, and then you have what are we going to call the vehicle you created?
The Vita Nova Battle Terrain All TV Air ATV Deluxe.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay, so the just a minute.
The VT ATV BVD
VN ATV
B
Deluxe.
BTD. Yeah.
Okay, so that's still a mouthful, but the VN ATV Deluxe, right? So you have your three horses, you have your pack horse, and then you have the VN ATV Deluxe.
You dropped the battle
Wow.
vehicle part.
I would have just called it like the Nova All-Terrain Vehicle for Nat D.
I like Nat V. Outstanding. So and you have the Nat V. So what
So
order
they're
are
coming
things
with
in?
us. They're not going back to.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. That was the
the
question.
last
What
thing
what was
Yeah, the
their
last
decision?
thing that you guys had talked about is you were going to take them to Kryvyi Rih, and
But I
and
did
there
tell them
they would
didn't-
try to get
they didn't
transportation.
have to.
right, understood. And then from there they were going to try to get transportation,
Except now they have transportation.
except they do have transportation now.
And part
So
of that
actually
also
that's
was-
great.
It was
Go
gonna be
ahead.
very difficult for us to bring them all with us originally, which was also part of the issue. But now they can travel the same speed as us to wherever we're taking them for safety.
Yeah. So I mean, I think part of Mark's thinking is he keeps sending recruits back to Donetsk.
Correct.
And 52 wants to go with you because you told him about the country, so he wants to go see it.
Sure.
which I said this before, and I heard myself saying this before, but I'll say it again, is I don't know how you can explain it to him any other way other than just he has to experience it. But when somebody says, I want to go see the painting, I want to go see the train, that's how he's saying, I want to see the country.
Right.
Right. It's not an understanding of this is an expanse of land that I'm currently standing in and I'm going to travel. Like if I say I'm going to rent an RV and see the country, that's not what they say when they say they're going to go see the country.
Right.
They think they're going to travel for a few days and they're standing in front of them is going to be the country that you told them about.
Right.
And
so I will ride in front of the Nova V.
Show up at Crazy Re and they're like, "Is this it? Is this the country?"
I'm very upset that my naming convention was usurped here, but I will ride in front of the Nat V.
Well, it's not armored, so I don't know why battle would be part of it.
Oh, because
it sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of robots and robot new life. So why not? They're gonna have to defend themselves eventually.
It's like Greenland and Iceland. Purposely name it something scary so people avoid it.
That's right.
Write it on the side of it.
That's right. See, we will destroy you, convoy.
All right, so I'm sorry. Orest is in front.
I'll take up the rear.
Okay, behind the Nat V?
Yeah.
And I think Dzitich is probably going to be riding on the Nat V with them to make sure there's no errors or issues until we've had a good, thorough test drive.
Okay, and where's your horse?
I'll have it along with the pack horse,
which is probably safer for it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just make a train out of the other two horses.
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. So rolling. Which was another song reference.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Come on.
One of the first American rap songs, actually. If one wants to say that lyrical speaking is rap, rap actually started in country music. Although I'm sure music historians may argue with me.
I'm not even looking at how many viewers we have, and it just dropped off.
Yeah.
Way to lean full tilt.
All right. Yeah, this is a rubber ducky. What we got us here is a convoy. Yeah, you go to the 70s and there were country music songs that they talked instead of sang. That's
like Rocket Man with Bill. I know.
Yeah.
I got
so okay, so you guys you guys head northwest. I think we're getting the lyrics now. All right. I need to find a way that I can stream Google Maps. So I can move it around and zoom and go to other parts and
yeah, that would be feasible if you were sharing, but since I'm sharing, that makes it difficult.
I gotcha. So you guys get you guys are following, there is a trail. There are sections where you can see some overgrown pavement, but for the most part, you're just following alongish where the H-23 is.
Mhm.
You guys get about to where, if you're looking at the map, where Apostolov is,
Mhm.
parallel to that. You see, as you guys get there about midday, you basically see ruins there. And there was obviously some kind of city or something there, but it mostly just looks like overgrown ruins.
I'll yell back to Dzitich, you should explain ruins to them.
Explain ruins?
Yes.
And Dzitich will explain ruins. Move on.
Oh no. Oh no. Plus, I don't see you dancing.
Well, you have to spend all your bennies on that.
Done.
That's how. No, don't. Dzitich will explain that ruins are like the spare parts that are sitting in this hollow. They are pieces of what once was structures or buildings that have become broken.
I'm just going to say right now, I love this stream because you come for the post-apocalyptic sci-fi. You stay for the children's explanations to the audience.
Yay!
I finished reading your lyrics there. I know it is a curse. All of them are really interested, and can we put the ruins back together?
Yes, it just takes time.
Huh. Will we fix these ruins?
No.
Huh.
Because when you move to fix things, you have to take a look at what resources and energy you have and what you're expending. And you need a good purpose to do that. I could turn these spares, and he will indicate to the large, giant, well-organized grouping of spares. I could use these to build bodies, right? To build more robots like those 28 that we have back there. But I'm these are spares for you and for your people that are walking around. It will do you no good to have full bodies laying around yet. Those ruins, we could stop and spend lots of time building. And if that's something that you find that you enjoyed, architecture, building these ruins back into the beloved buildings that they once were, I think that is a very admirable thing. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And if no one is going to live there, and if they're just going to fall apart and become ruins once again, then your time has been wasted.
So when we fix broken ruins, we should make sure there's people to live there.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys eat lunch near Apostolov, and do you head on?
If there's no people, then yes.
Yeah, no people. Well, I mean, that you see.
Right.
I mean, I'm assuming you don't go wandering through the ruins.
No.
You're more than welcome to if you want.
I'm good.
Okay. So are you looking at the map, Mark?
I am.
Okay. So you follow the trail, which pretty much follows the H-23 up to about Neva Tredova. And at that point, it follows whatever the white road is.
It's still there.
To
Oh, I'm sorry. Up to where?
um,
Niva Pirova. No, that's
Yeah,
Novorusk. I don't see that. Following the H23.
right from
I see-
Apostolov.
Yeah, I see Novozita, Nuvokrensky,
And
Dushny.
Niva
Eva
Tredova.
Turdova?
Yeah,
I don't see
it's on the right.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's just below Nuvokrensky. Okay.
Okay, and the trail kind of goes to the right there and follows that white line.
Ah, I see. Oh,
And you
we're-
go on the right side. There's like a U-shaped little
Yeah.
pond, lake river thing.
Yep. Where Vilni is.
Yes, right. Except you're just kind of traveling through, and I wouldn't even call this ruins when you see Vilni, but you can just see that it almost looks like rocky fields, right? There's no structures, but you can tell that, oh, there's a brick poking up through the grass. So you can tell that something was there where Vilni is.
And why did we leave H23?
Because you're following the trail, and the trail,
okay.
This is the direction the trail went.
Got it.
You get to the flat part of the lake,
Mhm.
and if you follow that flat bit, and the trail goes right along the edge of the lake there.
Mhm.
And as you get up towards the top part where the flat part ends, to your right, you see some buildings that are obviously not ruins. There is a gate. It's gated and fenced, and you see along the way as you. And matter of fact, if you turn on the satellite view, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see lakes that are look intentional on your right as you're going along that. And it looks pretty much exactly like what you're seeing on the map. Just ignore the town north of there. That's not there.
Okay. Well, is there obviously like here's the front gates to the gated compound kind of thing?
Yes, you see the road that goes to the right, and it goes right to the gate.
Well, I will tell the Vita Nova and Dzitich. I will say, hey, there's a town here. Why don't Sveta and I go check it out?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to freak them out.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
Okay. You have the banner?
Oh yeah, and Dzitich will climb down and pull the banner out from the saddle.
Oh, well, you didn't need to do that if I had it next to me. I didn't know where it was in game.
I'm just trying to be involved.
Okay. That's fine. So are you going to walk up with us then?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to leave them. I don't want to leave the Nova to their own devices, thinking, "Oh well."
they only have one device. Moves the truck.
They
All right.
are a device.
Yeah, they are.
So you go up to the gate.
It's just
and,
me and Sveta.
Okay, and who has the flag?
Sveta. So I can
Okay.
shoot things.
It's sad that that's a reality of this universe. So
We're gonna make peace at the point of a rifle.
you know, it was interesting in Star Trek the original series how and I guess actually in the Next Generation it was too, is, you know, if you're explorers and you come in peace, why is your ship so heavily armed?
Because they're not dumb.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
it was kind of like Enterprise the series.
Yeah,
Yep.
true. Yeah. hmm Yeah, because it's a dangerous universe. Anyway, there is a woman looking over the wall, and she sees you right up, and she says, hello, writers.
Hello. What is the name of this town?
Um, it's not. I mean, there's only what 6 buildings. I don't know that you would call that a town, brother.
Absolutely, man. I lived in Missouri.
Well, that's
That's
true.
a
Okay,
that's a
fair
town.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's a big town.
Yeah, we're both kind of from Missouri.
And half of the buildings were made of mud.
That's right. Well, that's because
Um,
the tornadoes kept knocking them down. But it's fine.
She says, just a second. Let me Google something. There we go.
And this town is roughly around Vesele on the map.
It's roughly around Nova Zoria. If you look, at where
Yeah.
Novaya Turdova is, and then follow that up to Novokrainsky, to Vilny, to Nova Zoria, it's like basically right where it's. I can't ping it on my map and have you see it, but it's basically.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, she says,
Rybne gospodarstwo Wira.
I bet she does.
and I will put that in the channel, but that's how you pronounce that. Which roughly translates as the Vera, which you recognize as a person's name, the Vera Fish Farm.
Oh, it's a fish farm. Nice. I will say, excellent. Are you aware? Were you by chance beset upon Orloff's men on a regular basis?
We pay our tithes. Are you here to collect tithes?
Not quite. Orloff has been overthrown and a new hetman has been elected. And I point to the banner. We've come to discuss the future, and how it will change as we seek to unify a free Ukraine. May we come in and talk?
Yeah, just a minute. What's your name?
I am Orest, and this is Sveta.
I am Alona.
Well, I didn't ask if there was anyone
Well,
else here.
you're not alone anymore.
Yeah, we both went there.
As soon as I said that,
We
I
both
knew I
went
was.
there from different directions.
You've known us both too long
Yes.
to expect nothing from that, John.
I was like, oh.
I feel like that's on you.
I was like, oh, this is such a nice Ukrainian name. Oh, yeah, I knew as soon as it was like, oh, yeah. So she says, okay. She hops down, and you see her hop down, and a moment later she's opening up the gate, and whoa, there we go. I'm trying to, while I'm talking, I'm trying to multitask and actually just go ahead and put a picture of this on for our viewers. And you see next to her is a man, and as you come to the gate, she introduces him as Taurus.
Taurus, you're strong like bull.
Are we by any chance near a fjord?
Near a fjord?
Yeah, is this a fjord for us?
Nice.
Oh.
That was great.
Wow. Yeah. I think you broke my brain again.
I think this is going to be the name of the episode in post. Are you near a ford?
Oh my goodness. That is. And I reckon that's why I do this. I'd like to say it's for the camaraderie, but apparently it's for the puns.
Like, ¿por qué no los dos? Okay.
All right. Boom. Give me just 2 seconds. Almost there. All right. Let me move the doomahickey. Boom. There you go. Now everybody can see the fish farm.
And I assume we're coming in from the north there.
You're coming in right here.
Yep.
All right. And there's a little
That's
area
a
right.
much bigger fish farm than I thought you were talking about. I was picturing like a small pond.
Now from the satellite map, I imagine it was pretty big.
Yeah. Here there's an area with some tables and such, and there are some people there. Alona introduces you to Philip, who he is in charge of the fish breeding. And there is Yaakov, and he just, he's one of the he just a worker or farmer. I'm not sure what to say. I don't know what you call people who tend to a fish farm, but he feeds fish, he gets fish, whatever. And they also introduce you to Katerina.
Okay.
And Katerina is one of the people. Her and her husband run the farm.
Well,
And,
so yeah, I'm going to go through my standard. I mean, I assume this is generational family owned.
yes.
And I will explain my backstory, how I was part of the Cossack tribe and how I helped fight to liberate Ukraine from Orlov, and I will explain about the Hetman and that we're moving from area to area to let people know that Orlov's collectors will not be coming anymore, or to find out if they have recently, because part of what we're doing is to make sure that they stop.
They were here. They were here 3 weeks ago.
So was it? Stand by.
While you look that up,
I have it right.
let's go to a commercial real quick and take a quick break.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
for those of you that are on Twitch that are already subscribers or followers, you won't see any difference, but the rest of you will have a quick 3-minute break. And for everybody else, it'll just be sitting here for 3 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
I'm back too. I'm not sitting there, but I'm back.
All right.
I'm also here.
Yay. Yay.
We have we need one person back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you and Sveta are the only one currently in the scene, so we can kind of go
Uh-oh.
explain
Oh.
your typical spiel.
I think you're too far away, John.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought I could multitask. So yeah, you guys, you and Sveta are explaining the standard spiel, you know.
I'm getting
We've got a flag.
Yeah, and I'm getting the head count and asking what they donated to Orloff. Previously, I imagined fish. Ask
Yeah.
if there are any men or women of age, and explain about the training program. And yeah, and that's see if they have, do they have kids or family members that are interested in learning within the
So there-
army for a time. And
Right. There's 12 adults. There are I'm sorry, there's 15 adults, and there are 11 children, and the ages of the children go from newborn to 17 years old. There are at 16 and 17 there are well, let me see. There's 5, and 3 girls and 2 boys, and one of the girls and one of the boys is 16, and the other 3 are 17.
And I turn to them and I say, hey, if you do enlist, you do have a higher percentage chance of not having to marry your cousin. Just kidding. I don't say that, but I think it.
So you're kind of, you've been here all of 30 minutes, and it's a lot of news to take in.
Yeah.
And Katrina says that this certainly is a lot to think about. This is takes more than a moment to process this, and certainly to make a decision.
Absolutely, and we're not suggesting otherwise. Our job is to kind of get the census, if you will, of who's where, how they may be able to help. What I know Orloff generally pushed things to the point of ruin for many villages and towns and resources. And that is obviously not what we want to do. We want to find out what you can and are willing to donate towards the cause.
Well, most of our, certainly we supported Orloff and his men, but a lot of what we grow here, along with the farms, you'll see if you continue on towards Krivari, is we help feed the city.
Right.
And we are a part of that. A lot of this, a lot of the steel is produced in the city. That's mainly what the city does, and so it's the surrounding area that that grows the food, and certainly supported Orloff's men, but also is used for the city. So if we're not supporting Orloff's men, then we have more food for the city. And I don't know how we would get fish to some far off place. I don't know how we would do that.
Yeah, and that is not logistics that you would need to worry about anyways. And now that I know that you're part of the city, then that can be folded into the discussion we have in the city. So that's not an issue either.
Okay.
And as far as the like you said, as far as sending family off to work and learn and train in Donetsk, that is not something you're going to necessarily come to right now. But I would ask, do you have a runner, or is there a runner nearby, or will that need to wait till the city? I'm not familiar with the landscape around here more than anything. Is there another city or town, village between here and
Just farms.
Krivery? Okay. All right.
Just farms. You'll find people that work on the farm. You'll find small houses and small collections, but I don't think I would call it a town.
Okay.
And you may or may not come across them. But yeah, the city is not that far away.
And so does the city send monthly, weekly, wagons out to collect provisions, or?
We send up, and again, you've stretched me. I don't know the life cycle of fish.
Yeah, me either.
And so, whatever is a logical, however, fish farmers, if you're a fish farmer, comment below.
That would be
so
the
how
most
often,
weirdly, oddly specific comment that we've ever received on a live stream. So please do. If you're a fish farmer, let us know below.
The salmon farming production cycle lasts about 3 years.
okay, then. And then I assume what you would do is you would stagger that. So
Correct.
This pond is this year, the next pond is the next year, and they would be in 3-year increments. I would assume that's how you would do that.
Yeah. I don't think trout is as long.
And I don't know what a Ukrainian with a Ukrainian winter would have in their ponds. I don't know if it would be salmon, but it's a native Ukrainian fish.
Oh, great.
That
It's a native Ukrainian post-apocalyptic fish. There can be
it certainly
That's
is.
right.
Yes, it is.
That's right. It's the razor-toothed saw trout.
It's a DB fish.
And now it is. Oh, by the way, the people here are just starting to gather, and it is evening meal time. And Alona says, I saw the vehicle. Are there more people? Do you want to call them in to eat?
Only if you allow us to pay you for the kindness. And there's just one more.
Such a large vehicle for just one person.
It is a long story, but in our travels, we found some other entities that are traveling in robot bodies. And so they do not require sustenance in the way that we do.
Okay, but you'll have one more join us?
Yes. Yes, he's out with them right now.
Oh, okay.
So I will Sveta, do you want to grab Dzitich, or you want me to?
I'll grab him.
All right. So I'm assuming, where did you leave him? Here or here?
No, yeah, there.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm not sure what you've been doing, Dzitich.
I've been talking and just kind of teaching them different things about that I've come across, and also how to repair themselves a little bit.
Right. that seems like that would be like an ongoing, anytime you have a chance kind of thing. And you mentioned that
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you see the truck there, Sveta?
Okay. So I'll walk up and hey Dzitich, you want some
Yes.
dinner?
Sure. Are we bringing everybody? Or is this just me?
Just you.
Sure. 52, if you could spread that knowledge, show them the examples I showed you, to make sure everybody kind of understands how their bodies work and how to repair certain pieces, if you would.
Oh, I can't come?
This
Is this the country?
is not. I'm gonna let Orest go over that. We're getting really close to the
We could
country.
ask if you're invited, but we only told them that we'll be needing to feed one more. So
Actually, you know what? Why don't we use this as a training, a learning exercise? Sveta, if you could please let them know that we're going to be bringing in a vehicle, because they probably don't see vehicles all that often.
okay, I can relay that information.
And
Do we all still have communicators?
Yes.
We do.
Okay. Let's just all do this over a group call here.
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
so I think that this would be a good opportunity for 52 and the others to see people who aren't us.
All right, I think we need to set clear boundaries on don't try and grab the fish, don't wade into the pools. You know, there's going to be a lot of variables here. That was why I originally said it would be just you, but if they're amenable to it, I think it would be interesting.
I think that when they go into societies, they're going to be expected to follow certain rules anyway. So we might as well start now.
Okay, I will let me ask first and see if they're good with that, and I will turn to her and ask her. And this is what I will specifically ask. Am I still talking? Katerina or Alona? I didn't know which one I was at. Okay, Katerina.
Well, you're all kind of together.
Okay, so I mentioned we found a new life form. They are very nice, but they have no concept of society, towns, villages, and we are actually on our way to take them into the city and then towards Donetsk, which is a very large city. Would you be amenable to talking with them and exposing them to some people that are not us? Because literally the three of us...
Are they safe?
They are safe, and they are very nice. And if you have specific rules that you want them to follow, just tell them what they are. But yes, they are safe, and they are very nice.
Okay, sure. Bring them in.
Famous
Alona
last
says,
words.
I'll help you with the gate.
Okay. I say, okay, bring them into the communicator.
And as we're walking in, I'll make sure they're all on the same frequency, on a different frequency, but the same frequency. So they're all going to be, so that we can switch to their frequency, but they aren't sitting on us.
Right.
And then I'm also going to go over the same rules that Orest and I just discussed, making sure they don't touch people's items, ask for consent with everything, just to be ultra safe with new people. And then that's a good.
You look with your eyes, not with your hands.
That's right.
Yeah. And consent. And it goes both ways. Make sure that people are asking before they touch you, and make sure that,
stranger danger.
Yeah. And then we'll head into town.
This is amazing. it looks similar to our farm.
Except here they farm fish.
What's a fish?
Anybody eating fish yet?
Yeah, they're serving it.
Yeah. So I will show them this is a fish. It is a non-sentient animal that swims in the water and lives its life feeding on bacteria and bugs and things of that nature that fall into the water. Now here it's a little different because they're farming them, so they have food for the fish that they feed them on a regular basis, and that way they can harvest them and send this to the city, because the city has many, many, many more people than the farm does.
Katerina says, can I show them the fish pond?
Please.
Okay. So she takes the herd off. We're walking. And it's like a bunch of school kids on a field trip when they head off towards the fish ponds. So Alona looks. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I will say to Alona, thank you for humoring us with this. They are quite interesting, and I think they will have a big impact on our society. But first, they need to learn how to live in a society.
It's an interest. And you said they look like robots.
They look like robots, but they have they have
a knowledge and a soul that we've seen.
yes.
Huh. This world we live in, it's always something strange.
I'm a Cossack who's been to Japan. I agree.
Japan?
Yes.
What's Japan?
Yeah, it's a very foreign land where they speak a completely different language and have completely different ideas of sensibilities.
Huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So Alona leans forward and she says, look, she says, myself and Taurus, our job here is everybody works the farm except the two of us, and it's our job to make sure the farm is safe. And you notice both of them have a sidearm, and you know, when they were up on, they have rifles, and they, you know, like some of the guys that work with the fish are wearing waders, and you know, they look like people that work on a fish farm. These two don't.
Right.
But they also don't look like hardcore mercenaries or anything like that, you know, but you can just kind of look at them and go, okay, you're the security.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
She says, so, you know, word gets around strange. So how do you know for a fact that Orloff isn't running things?
Because two of the three of us actually carried out the execution.
So you saw it, you were there.
Yes.
Huh. And when did it happen?
I look at Sveta. How long has it been now?
Yeah, I'd actually have to rewatch all the broadcasts.
No idea. Yeah, I think it's been 2 months.
Yeah, it's been months.
That sounds about right.
I think it's
been
2.5 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll detail the story to her. I will just hit the high notes, say that, you know, we found a way into Orloff's sanctum through Ripperdoc, and that was trying to kill a woman who Orloff had taken up into the tower with recording eyes, and we were able to chase Orloff, but he fled with the Splugorth to what's the name of the place, to Atlantis, and we were
Of
able.
course, she looks at you completely blank when you say Splugorth.
Yeah,
that's a strange word.
to Atlantis, and we tracked him down there. And as he was being repaired, we finished the job, and then returned from Atlantis to here. And then they decided on a hetman, and I'll tell her the story about the hetmanate and all the crazy stuff that happened during that. And that leads us to about a week and a half ago when we started this trek to do this for the hetman.
Wow. That is
It's been a busy couple months.
that's a story. Or that seems like something out of a book or some kind of video story or something.
It's been interesting.
Okay. Well, I think I will decide that it's good news, but it is happy to hear that Orloff is no more, but change is uncertain. And
Always.
so certainly that's a little concerning.
We are currently heading west to find the last two major stalwarts of Orloff's men. That is part of what we are tasked with as well, because we've heard that they've been still terrorizing parts of the countryside. And
yeah, there were 10 full cyborgs here, and I honestly, OOC, did I say 2 or 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, right?
yeah, 3.
3 weeks ago, there were 10 of them, full cyborg. Well, I could see some fleshy bits, but they were mostly cyborg.
And which way did they head?
Southwest.
I will give me just a moment, I say to Alona. And I say, Alona said that there were 10 cyborgs here 3 weeks ago that headed southwest after we may need to change our trajectory.
Understood.
Well, I mean, you're a few hours from.
Oh, no.
Creva.
Yeah. We're going to go there. But I mean, after that, we may need to head southwest.
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of the direction you were going anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of going back on track.
Right.
But
Plus, 3 weeks is a lot of travel time. So
yeah,
it's not like we could accurately track right down where they went.
that's true too. And who knows? I mean, your military brain, Orest.
Wow.
They both start with O.
Yeah.
They both work for cyborgs. They're both controlling. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I have the names as Oleska, Mikita, and Fadei.
Right. Can you put those in the?
I can.
Fadei
is the leader, and Mikita and Oleska are the 2 lackeys.
Right. So, I mean, the other thing is, I mean, if you look at the map, right, heading southwest is the direction you would take to avoid the city. I mean, they could be northwest of where you are, and they would still have to head southwest from this place.
Correct.
So
Yeah, because I think from here we're going to head southwest to Mykolaiv anyways.
right. So Anyway, unless there's something you want to talk about, you guys have a fantastic dinner. There's vegetables and bread and fish and you know, there's some cherry vareniki, sweet cherries.
And I will still offer to pay for our meals. I know they probably won't take it, but I'm still going to offer.
Okay. They yeah, they're like, no. It's our pleasure to hear the news. You've entertained us. You've brought us good news. This is our payment to you.
You're too kind. And the fish is some of the finest I've ever had. It is delicious.
Thank you. And the gaggle come back, and Katerina says, it's like talking to children. She said it's the most amazing thing. She said it's been a long time since I've seen someone take such joy in finding out about a fish.
And I want to keep that joy with them as long as humanly possible.
52 looks at you and he says, I held a fish.
What did you think about holding a fish?
It didn't hold still.
No.
It wiggled out of my hand.
Well, remember, it can't breathe in the air. It only breathes under the water.
Yes, Katerina explained. She showed their breathing devices.
Yes, gills.
Yes. Is everything unique like this?
There are many unique things, and then there are many things that are that are the same. Things fall into categories, but they can still be unique inside the categories. You said you wanted to see the country. This is part of the country. Everything you will see is part of the country from here out. And think about how far we traveled just today. I look to Dzitich. What fraction would you say of Ukraine? 1/120th? 1/1000th?
I don't think you're on mute, brother.
Maybe 1,000th.
And maybe a thousand. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just walked along a tiny little sliver.
Right.
A drop in the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The country is very big.
the country is huge. The world is larger.
Oh.
Worlds, I should say, now.
Well, when we're done seeing the country, can we see the world?
So
The only thing that stops you is you.
yeah.
Great. I want to see the world.
Keep in mind that you are seeing the world right now. This is part of the world
And also part of the country.
and also part of the country.
This is very confusing. But I think I begin to understand.
Good. That's progress. And I will ask them if they have any repairs that they need done that I will explain to 52 and the group. I said they were nice enough to show you the fish and show you what they do. Do you think you would like to repay them for their kindness?
It's customary.
Would we like to help? We always want to help.
I will ask them if they have any repairs that they need done that the group might be able to do for them.
Yeah, they have some things, and they have some things they need moved. Yeah, they have a whole bunch of stuff.
If
And they,
the group wants to help, then
yeah, they wander off with a couple of the farm employees and go do stuff.
perfect.
Go Do stuff.
It's a family show.
Here's a heavy thing. Move it over there.
They're literally just having him move one thing from over here to back over here to back over here.
Yeah, suddenly it's a prison show. Bust rocks. No, they do that. They all kinds of odds and ends and whatever. And you'll find out later that they absolutely enjoy it because it was, something new to them. And of course they don't get tired. It's wow, this is an amazing thing. I got to pick up something heavy and carry it. It was awesome.
I will tell them that this was the best Ukrainian brook lamprey that I've ever had.
I saw you on the Twitch stream Googling.
Yes, that's what I was Googling for.
What is it called again?
It's the Ukrainian brook lamprey.
Wow. Okay.
What is that?
It is a Ukrainian fish that is a freshwater native. And it was found in 1931.
Awesome. Well, there we go. I'm going to Google what that looks like.
And it is part of the Dontmizon Marae. It looks almost like a cross between a catfish and an eel.
Oh, wow. Its mouth is
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
I guess that's the lamprey part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All righty. Well, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, they invite you guys to stay the night. It is towards evening. Or do you want to head up to Krivo Rig in the dark?
I think we will take their offer, but just do it out in the parking lot.
Okay. Okay.
Out in the parking lot.
I mean, behind the gates, but still where the truck is.
Okay. Do you bring the truck through the gate?
Right.
Yes.
We brought the truck through the gate. That is
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So so unless there's something you want to do, it's morning. They have a nice breakfast of some bread and some cheese and some vegetables for everybody. And are you ready to proceed on, or there's something else you want to do?
No, thank them, and I got pictures of all the folks.
Right.
And filled out my forms, and off we go.
Before you leave, Katerina wants to talk to you. And let me find and so Ghana and Lavra, a girl and a boy.
Okay.
Katerina says these two are interested about what you said about enlistment. And you've kind of gone through the speech a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You can go through it if you want, or or we can just
stay here and work the forum, and I'll have someone come, and they will take them to Donetsk.
Okay. Yeah, they're interested. They would like, and you've kind of heard this before, but she does say, it's training, service, and then they will come back.
Yes. I mean,
okay.
Granted, we are fighting a war. I can't guarantee everyone's safety, but the goal is to train them, help us free the Ukraine, and then when they are done with their period of enlistment, return home. That is correct.
Okay. All right. She says that, go ahead and add their names to the list.
I will make sure that I flag their photos and names, and then I'll be sending that on when we get to the major city.
Awesome. Awesome. So you have that discussion, and you've seen this picture before, but you start seeing scenes like this as you get closer to Krivari. You see farms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you see that it's not very far, and I mean, you ride for a couple hours, and you begin to see the city.
Big city.
It is.
And you can tell that it's very, very industrial. The outside of the city is also going to be very familiar to you. You can tell it has the same design language. It's got a similar wall around it that you saw at Donetsk.
Right. Hopefully this time we don't have to go under the wall like we did in Donetsk.
Yeah, no. You find, there is a large gate that leads into the city. Now, the smoke, the steam, you are seeing this. This is, OSHA and, the environmental lobby have not been to this city.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
This is industry squared,
OSHA.
and all focused on steel.
OSHA would be like, oh, she.
By the way, when we were on the break, I do want to say that off topic of the game, but on topic to Twitch, I have a service that gives me these kind of notifications. Twitch was apparently hacked. It didn't say when, and so just a public service announcement. They think they lost passwords with the hack, and so everyone should reset your passwords.
Yes,
as
indeed.
a precaution.
And set your two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Do that. And that's been the Gamers Led's public service announcement, brought to you by Vitamix. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, you're at the city, and you can see that there's some traffic coming in and out. There's some trucks coming in from some of the various farms. We're in a harvest period. I'm going to continue kind of making game time mostly the same time it is now. So it is early October. So, harvest stuff is coming into the city. But you do see some large trucks heading out with, you would assume, steel heading somewhere.
And this is not one of the major cities that had a representative at the Hetmanate, correct?
It is a city that
It
had
is.
somebody at the Hetmanate, and I will remind you.
Thank you.
Boom.
So it's Danila Savenko, and he was
Yes.
still alive. So yes. So I will ride up, and I will say, hello. We are here from the Hetman to see Danila Savenko.
And you see guards, and
Yeah, sorry, that's I wasn't clear apparently. That's who I'm riding up to.
Obviously,
guards
yeah,
to
I
do
got
that,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got that. Yeah. So you see the guards there. That's who you're addressing. But I wanted to tell you that there's a one of the things you're finding is, that there's little pockets of whatever, like Donetsk was kind of cyberpunky, and if you look at how Danella is dressed,
Mhm.
I don't want to quite say steampunk,
Yeah.
but following that same kind of uh, aesthetic, the guards have more of they're wearing armor, and
But
it
they have
is,
cravats, and it's industrial age kind of stuff, right?
yes.
Yeah. Got it.
And so they see you and they say, hello to the riders.
Hello. I'm Orest, and this is Sveta, and behind me in the vehicle is Dzitich, and we are here on behalf of the Hetman, and we're here to see, and I repeat the name that I have just forgotten.
Danella,
something.
Savenko.
Savenko, thank you.
Yes, we were told to expect representatives from the Hetmanate, and we will have a detail take you into the city.
Excellent. And I will, what's this? Does this guard have a name tag? Probably not, but I'm just checking.
No name tag, but his name is
What is your name, good sir?
Georgi.
Georgi. How are things here?
Hi,
well,
Georgie.
Well, we were excited to hear the news of Orloff and of the Hetmanate.
It was very exciting, all of it.
So yes, we were very excited to for the news and for possibilities, and we weren't sure. I wasn't sure if we knew that representatives from the Hetman were coming, but I didn't know. I thought maybe there would be more.
We've been picked specifically to be small so that we can be fast.
I see. That makes sense. I understand that. Well, we will he says Andre will escort you, and he will take you to where you need to be. We have not all the buildings here are occupied. Most are, but this city is still rebuilding from it's growing. So now they're going to take you, if you look at the picture here, there's kind of a large square thing with a statue. And they're going to take you, there's a building here. Okay. And they're going to take you there, and it's a large everything's here kind of industrial. I mean, that's what this place is, but it's kind of warehousey, but it does have an area that is going to be comfortable for you guys to stay in, but it also has an open area for both that truck and for the horses.
Great. I'm as we start to leave the gate, I will turn on my comms just to monitor the explanations Dzitich is giving to 52 and the rest of them about all of this.
Yeah. Well, I'm poetic license here. I don't know that you can hear somebody talking outside, but if you could hear what Dzitich was hearing, you hear 52 look out and say, "Is this the world? This is so big. The house, look at these houses. These houses are very large. I thought the barn was big." Yeah.
I keep
Yeah, there's,
monitoring the comms to hear Dzitich's reply.
He's just smiling. So you guys get to your quarters, and Andre says, asks if there's anything you need.
Yes.
They and you know, I mean, it's by the time you ate breakfast, you cleaned up, you got all packed up, you got on the road, you drove a couple hours, you got here, you kind of got through the, you talked to the guard, you got through the gate, you drove kind of through that part of the city. You've kind of made yourself, you've gotten the horses and the truck, or the as you were, the Nat V into the warehouse. So it's noonish.
Okay.
And Andre says, I would like to bring you to wow, now I've lost that brain cell. I would like to bring you to Danila Savenko. And I don't know if he will be able to see you immediately, but I know we will be able to get you food there.
That would be great.
Okay.
However, give me a
go
second.
ahead.
Give me just 1 second. On comms, I'm gonna talk to Dzitich and Sveta, and I will ask them, what are we going to do with the Vita Nova? Are we going to encourage them to head to Donetsk from here? In which case, I should get a runner or a guide to take them.
I mean, that would be, unless you want this caravan to continually move through these areas with this implied threat. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't thought that far ahead for what we're going to expect of them either.
I mean, they may want to continue with us, which I don't mind, but at the same time, I feel like it would be better served if they headed towards the Donetsk and start learning their trades.
Yeah.
What say you, Sveta?
I mean, what trades would you be wanting or expecting them to learn? And
I mean, that's not really for me to decide. There's 1,000 things that I could think they could do that would be helpful for the war effort, even if it's logistics and carrying things.
Yeah.
Warehousing.
I'm just wondering which city would be more suitable for training them. Here they could learn industry things, but
the Hetman doesn't have the training program is in Donetsk, because that's where the center of the war effort is. What I want to prevent from happening is them becoming out and out servants to someone.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm afraid of if they stay in one place for any amount of time, because they will mistake helping for.
I think it'd be better to get them to Donetsk, where they could be at least supervised. This whole time I've been thinking we were bringing them to Dnipro Donetsk is so much further.
Yeah, we're going to Dnipro. They're
no,
going
no.
to Donetsk. Or
No,
no, we're
no,
going
no.
to.
Dnipro is where the hetmanate was.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. We're going to map. We're going.
Nikolaev and then Odessa.
Line.
Yep.
Line.
Yeah.
Nikolaev.
Yeah. Mykolaiv and then Odessa. And then they're gonna have to go on. I'm gonna have to get them a guide, and have them take them to Dnipro or to Donetsk.
Yeah.
Through Dnipro. The good thing is that they will be able to see the country and the world.
They will be able to see a lot of the country on that route.
Do you agree? Do you disagree? Send them to Donetsk if they are amiable to going.
I agree, as long as we can get them supervised the way there.
Oh, of course. I mean, they'll have to have a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that guide would probably have to pick them up at Dnipro. So how do we get them from here to Dnipro?
Why? Why can't I get a guide here to take them to Donetsk?
It would have to be somebody trustworthy.
I'm sure.
I was thinking someone from your clan to guide them.
I don't even know where my clan is right now.
Oh.
I think you were struggling to say his name again, so I'll just put it there.
Danila Savenko. Yeah, I just had to look it up.
I was trying to help.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure Danila has someone that he would have in mind to be able to do this.
Okay.
Once it's explained to him.
Yeah. Well then, yeah. If that's what they want to do, and we could give that as our recommendation. If that's what they want to do, we could.
Right, and that's why I told the guy who was going to take us to hold on, so we can have that conversation with them now.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do it with the three of us? Presenting a unified front?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go talk to 52 and the others, the other Vita Nova.
Okay. Now, just a second. Let's where are we? Are you?
The guy said
you-
he wants to take us. I said, hold on. We need to have a conversation for a moment.
Got it. Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yep, I understand. Okay. So they're there, ready to hear you.
So 52, we've brought you to Krivari, and this is one city in the country, and there are more in the country, and then more in the world. And I'll pull out the rough map that we're using, and
Okay.
I will show him where we are here, Krivari, and then trace the line up to Dnipro, and then from there to Donetsk. And I would say this, and I tap Donetsk, this is where we recommend that you and the vehicle and the rest of your crew go, and we will get a trustworthy guide to take you there. But you have the opportunity to go now, and we wanted to make sure that that's still what you wanted to do.
Yes, we want to see the country.
Okay. Now you do understand that we won't be there, the three of us. We will get you a guide, and the guide will take you through the rest of the country over to Donetsk, where you will start to learn and help the effort to free Ukraine.
Okay.
Okay. So we will go speak with the leader of the city and find a trustworthy guard, and we will be back later today. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Enough.
And But Andre is was he in earshot of that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, he's just kind of like, he waits until you're on the way to and he has a car, by the way. He says you can leave the horses here. He has
Oh, okay.
a wheeled vehicle, that open top, large industrial looking kind of, matter of fact, do you remember Volkswagen Things?
Hmm.
That was a 80s Volkswagen vehicle, and actually it was a redesign of a World War II German military vehicle. Was it a Kubelwagen?
Oh, that thing. Yes, yes. I know. I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
What's that
it kind of
thing?
looks like that.
Okay.
My first
kind of a-
car was almost going to be a used thing.
Yeah, I had a friend had one. They were awesome. And anyway, it's kind of a cross between that. It's closer to that, but it has a little bit of Humvee in it. You know,
Okay.
it's kind of, imagine a Volkswagen Thing if it was the size of a Humvee.
Got it.
And so you guys hop in that, and he takes you over to the building, which you can see the base of the building here in the pictures.
Oh, I'm not on that screen. Now I'm on that screen. Okay.
And that's where Danila Savenko is, and he's promised you some food there.
Great.
So if everybody sees that, so so yeah, he takes you over there. Takes a little bit of time, and you know, he takes you in, and he's talking to the guards there in the building, and explains things, and you know, they recognize who you are, and they take you in and into kind of a cafeteria area, and feed you lunch. And he says, you know, he excuses himself and says, I'm going to go see if Danella is ready to see you.
Oh, what was he going to say to me?
Yeah, he yeah, on the way over there, he just says, you know, he's surprised. He says, it is so weird that you were talking to robots like they're people, or I don't know. I'm just confused by the whole thing.
So they're not actually robots. They have souls, and yes, they have robot bodies, but they are not robots. Trust me, par for the course over the last 2.5 months.
This is such a strange thing.
Many strange things in the world, my friend.
Yeah, it is interesting. I certainly have a story to tell about these machines.
Yes.
So he leaves you to lunch, and unless there's something you want to do or say or whatever, he comes back shortly and says, Danilo will meet you, and he'll lead you to.
I
Oh, go
will
ahead.
ask Andrew if he's the one I should talk to about finding a guide for them, or should it be Danilo directly?
Danilo. He
Okay.
says, when I bring you to Danilo, I will return back to my duties.
Thank you.
And so he takes you up, and there's a conference room, and Danila is there, and he is there with Miroslava, which he introduces as his assistant, and he welcomes you to sit.
I thought this was Kivari.
It is.
I thought he just.
I don't
called
understand the question.
It, I thought he just called it sit.
He invites you to sit down in the chairs that are
Oh, I thought
in
he said he
front of you.
welcomed us to sit. Okay,
No, he welcomes you to sit.
I see.
I don't know if you're confused or just being Mark.
Just being Mark.
I see. Okay, got it. Um, great. And so he asks you about, you know, the story of getting how, you know, it took you a while to get here and what you've seen and what you've done.
Yep, go through all of it.
And he asked you a lot of questions about the Chuck Love and about Nicopole and about the giant creature coming out of the water and about the lizard people. And he really, you spend a lot of time talking about that bit. And he just, wow, that just amazed at that part of the story. And he agrees with you that while sad, that destroying the flowers he just says that's terrifying, and he's certain that was the right thing to do.
It weighs on, I think, all of our conscience, but obviously someone had ill intent in planting them in the first place and harvesting them for unknown weapons. But the good news is that we found a new, beautiful, helpful, sentient life form out of it in the form of the robots, which is one of the things that I did want to request from you. Do you have a trustworthy guide that could lead them up through Dnipro and back to Donetsk?
I think I can do better than that. He says, he looks at Miroslava and he says, do you have the schedule with you? And she says, yes. And she pulls out a book and she says, in 5 days. He goes, yep. He says, we have a convoy of steel going to, well, wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm thinking right. Where are my industrial cities? So Zaporizhia is an industrial city.
Mhm.
And we've got Lugansk
Mhm.
is an industrial city. Let me look at my okay. He says yes. He says 5 days we have a convoy that will go to Zaporizhia and then on to Lugansk, and they will stop and they will join a convoy from Donetsk to continue on to Lugansk.
That would be, how fast does the vehicle go?
They
Like I'm worried that the harvester will not be able to keep up with them.
no, they're not fast. They're
okay.
You probably passed some of the trucks on your way here.
Okay.
They the steel they're carrying is very heavy.
Sure. Okay. That would be amazing. If we could facilitate that, I would be very grateful.
I can make that happen. And based on your description of these people, creatures,
we're calling them Vita Nova.
Vita Nova. Okay. Based on your description of this Vita Nova, I will he looks at Miroslava and he names a couple people and he says, let's send them, and it would be good to send them for other reasons. I think there's some things we need to negotiate and such. But yes, let's send them with the trucks, and they can be there to protect them and to make sure that they are. I agree with you. Is that this is the Vita Nova need to be protected. The other concern I have is, did you tell me that? And I'll say this OC first. Did you tell him you have samples of the flowers?
I did not.
Okay, never mind. Then he's done talking.
Okay. Yeah.
He was going to ask you about that, but if you haven't said it, then
I have not, and that's for
But-
Dzitich to.
but he
offer.
will say, so you destroyed all of them. Dzitich isn't talking.
Who exactly is this person?
You've met him before. He was there at the Hetmanate. He is the leader of this city.
He's like the mayor of the city, governor of the city.
Yeah. Danila Zavenko.
We
You've met
collected-
him.
We collected some samples for the hetman.
I see. Well, he said, as you've pointed, you continue to head into danger. Shall we return the samples with this convoy? We send guards, and it is a armed convoy.
While I can appreciate that you supply it with the utmost care, many of these samples are in very delicate situations that need to be looked over by someone with a knowledge of science, a deep knowledge of science. I think that it's best kept with us for now until we see the hetman again.
Okay.
Thank you for the offer, though.
Okay.
And he'll look over at Shinkansen and Sveta to see if they agree.
Yeah, I nod.
Okay, I understand. Very well. Is there what can we do to facilitate the rest of your mission? I know that it's important to the hetman, and so we will make whatever you need a priority for us.
Do you have, by chance, a digital storage device that I can interface with and send along some information of utmost importance to the hetman?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then I'll download my trip log 1.0 and send it back with all of the data about the villages we've been at, the people that were interested, who needs to be picked up and brought to Donetsk. And
yeah, he has Miroslava get some basically tablets,
Mhm.
and you can tell that they're they look kind of like they're ruggedized.
mhm.
And he gets two, and he says, can we put it on two in case if this information is important, if one gets, we'll put it in different places in the convoy so that it's more likely to get there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's a
I
great
appreciate
idea.
that. So yeah, you've got that.
Okay, I download that and then hurrah, that's done. And just to be clear, in there is the idea, the whole spiel about the enlistment, and that it's for 2 years, and that we train them as well as, if we need them to fight, that's fine, but we train them in something. And the whole proposal is in there, along with here's the names of the different people and their pictures in each village. So I've got pictures of like, for example, the Chuxel, and then I've got the town of Zwaz and Ujotu, and I've got Vosk, Zuz, Oracox, all that stuff. So I'm sending that all over there. So that way, along with a record, of what we found at the farm, what we did, all that stuff, how we destroyed it all, and that we took, a couple samples.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. These do you want us to pick up these people and take them to Donetsk with a convoy? Your route is basically the route we would go. We're going to go to Zaporizhia, then we're going to go to Donetsk. So we will be going past these places.
That really makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Okay. All right. And I see you have all the information laid out very well here.
Yep. That's
okay.
Perfect.
All right. Fantastic. Again, if there's anything you need, supplies or anything we can do for you.
I think we will need to resupply on our rations because we are probably getting actually pretty close to the end of them.
Okay. I will leave Miroslava to assist you with that. And is there anything that I can do for you?
Dzitich?
Be safe. The roads are getting more dangerous with the warlords gone, I think. People out there don't know who to trust.
That makes sense to me.
Sveta, do you want to spend time at a blacksmith while we're here?
I don't know. I don't have anything that I need to craft, but I'd be happy to lend my hand wherever Danella needs us.
Okay.
I was also asking if you wanted to do the thing with the golden hammer where you're making one for. You said you wanted to do one in every town, so I didn't know if the cities count.
Yeah. I mean, whenever, if Danella needs me anywhere and I go to the blacksmith, yeah, I'll make the.
He says, I will arrange. Miroslava will. I'll have her take care of a tour for Sveta or all three of you if you're interested. We're happy and very happy to show our industry and what we can do here. I'm certain that our city will be a powerful part of the Hetmanate.
Between my knowledge of metals and Dzitich's knowledge of machinery, I'm sure we could find ways to update and improve your processes here.
Okay. Okay.
Also, Sveta, didn't you have that medal from the robots? You had a medal that you had never seen before.
Oh yeah.
You could always try and work on that.
Yeah,
also,
I would like to process that and find out some more about it. But that might be a thing for next time because I'm.
Oh right, yeah, no,
fast.
Yeah. And I get you. I could see that. So here's what I was going to do. I just wanted to get what you're doing, and then I want to do a montage. Are you going to join Sveta on the industry tour, Dzitich? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to do that. Now, what you don't find here are blacksmiths, right? Everything here is industrial.
Yeah.
But heat metal, shape metal, I mean, that's your thing. So, you get it. It's just being done on an industrial level instead of, one tiny little hammer.
Yeah.
But there's not really any place in the city that's banging a hammer on an anvil. That's, one, they're not a manufacturing facility. They really are turning raw materials into steel. So yes, both of you, you're like, oh, well, you're lower this temperature by 5 degrees and, it'll be, the metal will crystallize better. And, Dzitich are like, oh, well, you could automate this thing. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have all kinds of, um, things, and even some things of you guys have drawn out. It's going to be a 1-year plan to, oh, okay, well, if we build this and do this and whatever. And you have, and let's just say it takes 5 days, to go through everything they have here. And even then, it's you're seeing it's a high level kind of tour. But it's going to be a huge boon to the city and their production for what you've done.
Right.
Unless there's some specific thing you want to point out, we'll just leave it there. Like, oh, I really want to help them with X. And whatever you feel you want to do there, Orest, during this 5 days.
I'll work with their security defenses forces.
Okay. All right. And what are you guys doing with the Vita Nova during the period?
During that 5 days, I will take the opportunity to try and explain the concept of people who want to take advantage of them.
Okay.
And try and do it in a way that still leaves room to trust people and believe in people, but at the same time, they makes them aware they need to watch out for themselves.
Okay. All right.
What about you, Dzitich? Anything you want to do with them? Concepts to explain?
Not that I can think of. I mean, most of Dzitich's training is going to be on them, who they are, like physically.
Right.
Right.
As this Dzitich is kind of a criminal.
Yeah.
He's relying more on your moral training, just like he is with himself, relying on you and Sveta for moral training.
Okay. All right. Well, we will start 5 days from now in game time, next time. And we will take it from there.
Great. And
All right.
as always, thank you everybody for watching. If you would like to support us, you can do that a myriad of different ways. For example, if you would like to support us, you can do so on Twitch by hitting the subscribe button, helping us get to 10 for the month of October. On YouTube, like, subscribe, and of course hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And last but not least, no matter where you're watching us, you can go to patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks scrolling across our screen, our Patreon and Twitch producers. And so to thank you to all of them, and thank you to you for watching. And until next time, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
On.